You're listening to the Emotional Telepathy show on the YouTube channel of Sunset Station. Through the sky like golden highways, sweet lemon breeze flowing through the cool. I belong to you, eyes that see. So, hello everyone. A warm greeting to all of you. It's been chilly these past few days, hasn't it? Hello in this cold weather. Wishing you a happy new year and celebrating together. Waiting to meet all of my wonderful listeners during this Growth Mindset podcast series, which has been going live for many weeks and months now. Yeah, it's a bit chilly, but I'm really happy. These moments are something special. Every morning when I wake up, I feel joy, like I'm turning to a new page in my life. This new page means that no matter how challenging the old chapters were, it's all about moving forward. It's all a bit of nonsense, but here's the deal. Starting fresh with something new, like a flower blooming, shows how life embraces change. No matter what we've achieved in the past or how things are now, there's always a chance to do better and create a whole new life. I think that's the amazing kindness of life. It's just so beautiful and joyful. Let me explain again. It's cold out, and sometimes we just need to talk it out. I ended up getting a bit tongue-tied there. Honestly, I could pull it together or wait until it's not so chilly and then be fine, but I really don't want to mess with this happy moment. I'm feeling great, it's early morning, everything feels fresh and cool. If I wait a little longer, the happiness might fade, so I hope you'll bear with me if my words get a bit jumbled. I'm just super happy. It's a new week, a new month, and even a new year. So, cheers to that. Hey everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Since it's the start of the year, it's totally fitting to wish each other well. Today, I want to talk about something that touches on competition and striving in life, or how to boost your confidence. It's a pretty broad topic, and by the end of it, you'll probably see a lot of different issues and stories that you can relate to in your own life. I just want to say that you can understand it however you want. Of course, there are certain frameworks, but I really love these broad topics because everyone sees their own story and meaning in it based on their own lives. I'm really into this. So, what should I talk about specifically? Let's go with an example. It's been a while since I've mentioned characters like Alex, Ben, Chloe, and David, right? Let's bring them back. So, let's say there are two friends, and one of them is named Alex and Ben are two friends who took a math exam together. Just to clarify, don't be scared of math. Alex was considered to have a knack for it, while Ben wasn't seen as having much talent. What's interesting is that they were only evaluated on whether they had talent or not, even though neither of them had studied math before. It's like people were just judging them based on their vibes. When others talked to Alex and Ben, they noticed that Alex seemed to really have a gift for it. Alex and his friend are about to start learning math, so let's guess who here has a better chance of succeeding in math. It's pretty clear that neither of them has studied math before. They've just been told that Alex has a knack for it, while Ben doesn't. Since they're both starting from scratch, you might think that the one with the talent will end up doing better, right? It's a pretty common way to think, and I bet most people would agree with that. People often think that having talent means you'll do better, and that's pretty normal. Nothing to complain about there. But if you really think about it, there's something off. If someone believes that more talented people will definitely succeed in a subject, they're oversimplifying things. Sure, talent, quick thinking, and natural intelligence matter, but there are a lot of other factors at play too. Now let me add another variable to these two friends, and you'll see how people's trust in who they think will succeed in this subject starts to change a bit. The next variable is hard work. One of them is seen as naturally talented in math, but their hard work is pretty low. If anything, they're a bit lazy. The other one isn't considered very good at math, but they're super dedicated and put in a lot of effort. So right now, let's put it on the scale. This guy is seen as having potential and talent, but he's lazy. On the other hand, this other guy is considered to have no potential or talent at all. Not saying he's bad, just average, but he's really hardworking. So now, let's vote again. Who do you think is more likely to succeed? I bet some of you are starting to doubt Alex. I mean, he has talent, but he's so lazy and doesn't do anything. He doesn't even finish his assignments, just messes around. If you work hard, you might have a chance, you know? Even though Alex usually outperforms everyone, it's tough to turn a lazy person into someone diligent. Just look at how diverse life is with all these different factors at play. There's potential for everyone. If life were too easy, then someone with a head start would just win all the time. But sadly, life isn't that straightforward. Sometimes people have their ups and downs. What about potential talent that someone has but doesn't use? Have you ever thought about that? Some people are born with natural abilities but choose not to use them. You can still outshine them because you have willpower, determination, and drive. Have you ever seen someone who's really smart and great at solving problems? They might think faster than others, but if they don't apply themselves, they'll fall behind. They drop out because they're too into gaming, you know? They can't focus on their work. You'll see those kinds of people in offices at various companies, and there are quite a few of them. You can tell they have smart potential and can solve problems really well, but that's just in the beginning. As time goes on, they get lazier and more stuck, becoming a real headache for everyone in the company. Clearly, this is a case of having talent but not bothering to use it. So, you really need determination to win against people like that. You've got to put in the effort if you want to get ahead in life. I'm saying this for anyone who feels insecure, who thinks they don't come from as good a background as others, or feels like they're falling behind in school and can't keep up. Maybe your family isn't as well off as others, but please don't think life is that simple. Don't let where you start hold you back or make you give up. That kind of thinking is just too easy. Life's not as simple as you think. There are a lot of variables at play. Just the variable of hard work alone can change a lot, not to mention other factors like attitude. If a person is nice, they'll get help and support from everyone, even if their talent is just average. On the other hand, someone might have great talent but a bad attitude, right? So, if you're a genius, being a bit off is okay, but if you only have a little talent and you act like you're all that, then it's a different story. You might attract all sorts of things. If you attract other people's dislike, instead of them reaching out to help you, they tend to push you down because they find you unlikable. Now, if you add in the variable of attitude, people's lives can take all different paths. Just having a slight advantage doesn't guarantee success. Life has so many variables, but the ones we've talked about are pretty consistent. Usually, you and it are pretty easy to see. Now, here comes the good stuff of this topic, in my opinion. Let's say there's another person, your friend, let's call him Charles. I'll set the scene a bit because this is about sound, and a lot of people might not get it, so let's recap a little. Charles doesn't have a knack for it, no natural talent at all, just an average Joe. Now, suddenly, there's this guy, Charles, who, despite having no talent, learned this math subject before. 2 years ago, if you were to evaluate Mr. Charles's abilities, he was even weaker than the guy who has no talent at all. Basically, in terms of natural talent, he's way behind Mr. Alex and even Mr. Ben. But the thing is, Mr. Charles studied for 2 years longer. So now, when he competes, you'd think the winner would be the one with the highest IQ or talent, but in this case, it turns out that the person who might actually have the lowest talent among the three ends up winning. Why? Because he studied earlier and really stood out. Because he studied ahead for 5 years, when he comes here, he's going to make Ben and Alex really doubt their own abilities. They see how much better he is, and it's not just because he's naturally gifted, it's because he learned earlier. But still, they can't help feeling overwhelmed by how good he is. Even someone like Alex, who has some talent, can see how much knowledge Charles has, and that's going to make Alex question himself too. I feel really insecure sometimes, and I can't help but wonder, my gosh, people say I have talent, but when I talk to my friends, I feel like I'm nobody. Why do I feel so far behind? It makes me think that maybe I just don't have what it takes, and it feels like my life is going to waste. I get overwhelmed with self-doubt. But the message here is that even if you start off not so great, if you keep learning and improving every day, you'll get there. Just be honest and put in the effort to learn from those ahead of you. You guys can still outshine them by using their starting points to your advantage, yeah. Because life, especially in the workplace, isn't like school. In school, everyone learns together at the same time, but life is different. In life, if you want to learn ahead, you can go for it. There's no problem with that. For example, if you walk into an office for an interview, the person interviewing with you might not have ever learned communication skills, so you can bet that person is at a disadvantage. That company is going to face some bumps and have its share of awkward conversations. But you, on the other hand, understand how important communication skills are. So you quietly worked on it for the past couple of years, reading books and taking courses on the subject. Now that you're starting at that company, your communication skills are much better, and you're able to get along with everyone easily. In an office environment, your ability to adapt is really important. So, when it comes to natural talent, you might not have an edge over others in communication skills, but you can still outshine them because you learned ahead of time. I was so excited the day I realized this. If you study 2 years before someone else, you've got a leg up on them, even if they have natural talent. Success isn't just about raw talent, think about it. You've got to go through training. It takes a process, and it's tough. You can't just become skilled overnight. It takes years of hard work. A person's natural talent can't catch up in just a day or two. So, you can still outshine others, and that's super important for building your self-confidence and belief in life. Don't buy into the idea of fate determining everything. Life doesn't just unfold that way. Don't believe that because thinking like that makes you oversimplify life. You're underestimating all the other variables and missing out on opportunities for your own growth and success. That's why I always tell you to keep learning. When things go wrong, it's totally normal to want to learn. For example, if you fail an exam in Vietnam because your English isn't good enough, it's okay to feel upset and cry about it. But then you should just go sign up for an English course. That's completely normal. It's just that you stumble and life hits you, and that's when you realize you need to step up. Studying a bit is totally fine, guys. It's just normal, and once you hit a bump in the road, it takes time to bounce back and get your English skills up. That can delay your success. So why not start learning now? If you find something important and you need it, just go for it. Even if you don't need it right away, learning ahead of time gives you an edge in life. When you're in a competitive situation, the other guy might not be ready yet. If you knew something 2 or 3 years ago, or even just 6 months or a year ago, that's when you really start to get ahead. That's why being ahead of the game is something I highly encourage you to take advantage of. It can help you tackle almost all issues, whether it's talent or skills, and it can really elevate your life. So, get to studying and read every day. Make your life like a university. I've mentioned this before. Right now, just for fun, think of yourself like a university. Decide what you need to learn and what skills you want to develop. Even if you're just an ordinary employee, if you have a dream of moving up and managing people, then even if your daily job is just printing or photocopying, you should go to bookstores or sign up for classes to improve yourself. The text talks about human resources and management skills, emphasizing the importance of reading and learning. It suggests that by reading several pages daily, you're preparing yourself for future opportunities. For example, in a couple of years, the current department head might become an assistant director, leaving a vacancy. If no one in the current team has the necessary skills to fill that role, you could be the one standing out because you took the time to learn and grow. You've got experience reading, and you've already practiced dealing with people in this room. Everyone respects you. You've even thought ahead and gotten certificates in HR management and stuff. So when the opportunity comes up, you're ready to jump on it. It's like everything just clicks perfectly, but people don't realize you've been preparing for this for 2 or 3 years. Now that the chance is here, you seize it, while those who weren't prepared are left wishing they had. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I just can't miss it. Honestly, it's so sad that life shouldn't be like this. If you want something, even if your current situation isn't ideal, just go for it. Focus on your studies and improve your skills. Look into AI and how to use it because it can really help you a lot in your life. Start learning how to use it now so when an opportunity comes up, you can grab it. I've been doing the same thing recently. I was chatting with a lot of people during a trip, and I brought up how AI is really advancing these days. I was curious if anyone in our group uses it regularly. I was pretty surprised to find out that my friend uses ChatGPT Gemini every day. It's super useful for handling data, making charts, and doing all sorts of logic and math stuff. Overall, it's a powerful tool, and I end up spending over $20 on it every month. I've never gone a month without paying for OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. I think it's just so great. I use ChatGPT almost every day, so I kind of take it for granted. I assume everyone else does the same since it's so useful. Now, whenever I need to find some information, I just type it into ChatGPT, and it gives me a much better summary than just searching on a regular search engine. I guess I'm a bit biased, thinking everyone must know how great this is too. When I asked people, most of them knew about it, but they don't use it because they don't really understand it. Only a few actually use it, but the majority have tried it and then just let it go because they don't know how to apply it. They just mess around with some random stuff, but in the end, they don't really use it for work. So I told them, if you really believe that AI is going to be something big in this world, then don't treat using it like a joke. Take the time to really learn about it instead of just asking silly questions. Be serious about studying how to use AI. On Amazon and other book-selling sites, there are tons of guides on using AI apps. They're super advanced now. They can handle Excel, spreadsheets, word processing, coding, and even graphics. It's even at the point where it can create videos and process audio. It's seriously powerful. Hey everyone! If you believe that mastering these apps could be your next big career move, it can really help you make more money and stay relevant in this new era. You might have missed out on the last internet boom and the social media craze. Since Facebook and YouTube popped up, if you didn't seize those opportunities, you might be feeling left behind. The first people you meet might be your chance to start fresh and change your career. If you believe in that, you need to learn about it right now. I've said it before, having the right resources is important. Whether you're ready to learn or not, who knows? One day, your company might have a position that no one understands, and that spot could be yours. It might just come down to natural talent. You might not be as good as the people in that office, but hey, you studied for a year or two before them, so why should their talent matter compared to where you are right now? After this, take the initiative and forget that whole destiny idea about having a rough start. You've got plenty of ways to turn your situation around. I've only mentioned a few variables here, but life can throw 100 different things at you all at once. Change is tough, but honestly, these variables are enough for now. I wish everyone the confidence to compete and the courage to transform themselves into capable individuals. Opportunities will come your way, they won't just disappear. Thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye. Music, you just finished the show. To check out more episodes,